$3 a piece. Pros are the horses get water in the wintertime because without them they freeze solid. And they cost about $1 a day to operate. That's about what the electricity use is, depending on how cold it is. You have to keep water on. But without them, the horses wouldn't have water, so and then you have colic problems, things like that. It's probably a little more expensive on the bill end of it, but as far as the expense of our time emptying buckets out or thawing waters or things like that, it's a lot less taxing. Yeah, we didn't have one in our house either. I don't want my kids getting in trouble on them. Here's the buckets. And you can see what we do to keep the horses from getting onto the cord. We actually stick it through the wall and take it up behind the wall where they can't get to it.
Gotcha.
And that works pretty well. I think Kit Kat liked to chew last year.
So what was it like to have to, daily work of going out and breaking the water?
Well, 2 or 3 times a day you have to go out and basically take the bucket out of the stall, take out and knock the ice out of it. Sometimes overnight it would freeze solid. During the day it would have a pretty good layer of ice on it. It was a real pain.
Did you have a trough that was heated that you would put buckets in to thaw them, or how would you bring them in?
We would just basically turn them upside down in the sun on the sunny side of the building, and have an extra bucket to basically take in and get fresh water, and then you come back out later and the sun would fall away from the bucket and you just leave a big bucket-shaped chunk of ice stacked out there.
In general, what are the associated risks of having heated water buckets? Is there any fire hazard? I know there can be.
Well, any time you deal with electricity, there is the chance of a fire. It's pretty limited. I mean, the outlets are on ground fault breakers, so if anything shorts out, it's supposed to throw the breaker and power will go off to that bucket. So, and the buckets themselves are made pretty safe. They actually have a built-in thermostat, so they won't overheat. They'll get up to 50 degrees and they'll shut themselves off, so they won't overheat and melt the bucket, causing a fire or anything like that. So there's a little bit of a risk, but I think the risk of having a horse not have water is probably worse than that risk.